It feels so weird to be talking to the camera instead of just playing. So I'm going to teach you some outside the box 251 ideas. Some of these are diatonic. Actually, one of them is diatonic, which means that, you know, every chord is within the key. That I'm going to be demonstrating. And the others explore a little bit some outside sounds. I'm not a jazz player by any stretch of the imagination. I just like harmony and I like theory. I just wanted to share some of that with you. So the first example I'm going to show you is just using, you know, an interesting use to inversions. So we're doing this in C major. So usually you have D minor 7, G7, and C major 7. Now if you change this for an inversion, so the first inversion, which means the root's going to be over the third, with that note, you have this chord. So that's a D minor 7 first inversion. And instead of the regular G7, we're going to have a G7 in the third inversion, meaning the root's on the flat 7th. This note right here, the F. That gives you this chord. It's a really cool chord. So far we have, and then we're going to resolve to C major 7 over the E, so the first inversion of a C major 7. I'm going to use this voicing, which is a drop 2 voicing, meaning instead of having E, G, B, C, you'd have E, B, C, G, alright? I hope I said that properly. If not, I'll just correct it somewhere on the screen. So we'd have first example. The second one I'm gonna do is again using inversions, just different inversions, and one of the chords. So instead of playing a dominant, or instead of playing the G7, we're gonna play another chord that can function as a dominant in this case because it has this interval, the tritone. So the tritone is the interval that creates tension in the dominant chord and wants to resolve to the 1. So in the case of C major. In the key of C major, the tritone that wants to resolve is the, from the F to the B. You have that in the G7. That he wants to do that, you know. There are plenty of other chords that use this tritone. The one I'm going to be using, it's an A flat minor 6th. Okay, so this chord. You wouldn't think of it as a dominant chord, but it works. I'm going to show you in context and it makes a lot of sense. And we're going to use the same chord we'd use, so the D minor 7 over the third. So first inversion over the F. But instead of playing the root here, we're going to play the root on the A. And then the A flat minor 6th. And then, you know, I want to create this chromatic bass movement going here. Like that. So you have to play a C over G. You play just this regular one, or maybe for major 7th here. I like playing this one because it resolves and it goes. Altogether you'd have. It's really like unusual sound for a 251. You wouldn't expect to hear something that's in a 251. Yeah, I keep on looking there instead of at the camera. I need to look at the camera. Last example I'm going to do is using what's called a tritone substitution. Again, the tritone. It's also called the flat 5 sub. It just means you're substituting the dominant, the 5 chord, for a chord that's a flat 5th up, or a tritone up from that, which in this case you'd get C sharp 7. So this. If you just play like that, you'd have the D minor 7, C sharp 7, C. But I want to take it a step further and play this over an inversion again. I'll just start with a regular D minor 7, and then put this over the third. You'd get this chord. And then I'm going to resolve to a C. This same C, just in a different position. So you get this. It's a really interesting sound. So this chord is this really, over the third. It's also a drop 2 voicing, so it's a C#7 over F drop 2. Again, meaning you get in the second voice of the chord, the second note in the chord, and dropping it to the bottom. Anything else? That's it. I hope you learned something. I hope you found that interesting and useful. So if you just have any video suggestions, tutorial suggestions, you can always leave that in the comments. And yeah, do the usual stuff, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I also do one-on-one lessons, so if you're interested in that, shoot me a DM on Instagram. And that's it. Have a good one.